This is Q&A number 4. In this one, people have asked me recently for a list of non-demonolatry books that I recommend for people to read. And the reality is, I think you should be widely read across all schools of occult thought. I particularly like Franz Barden's Initiation into Hermetics and the Practical Magical Evocation. I also suggest authors like Lon Milo Duquette, Aleister Crowley. I also think everyone should own all of the old grimoires and have thoroughly studied Agrippa and the Arbatel. And if you're looking for translations of Goetia, I highly suggest the Peterson, and there's also a good translation of the Goetia of Dr. Rudd, or is it Rude, by Stephen Skinner and David Rankine, which is awesome. They have anything by Stephen Skinner or David Rankine. You should probably have those too, because they're just wonderful books. And I'm sure there are other authors out there that I'm missing. There's quite a few authors that I have a great deal of respect for in the magical world, and I don't think you should limit yourself. I have always advocated people learn as much as they can about both high and low magic, and really just go wherever their interest dictates, because if you are a practicing demonolator, you can work all of that into your practice. There is no problem with that whatsoever. Next question. Soft polytheist, pantheist. I was asked to elaborate and asked, what does that mean to me? Why pantheism and not panentheism? I'm a soft polytheist because I don't really believe in anthropomorphic deities. I believe mythology is a priest's way of relaying difficult spiritual and philosophical concepts to the layman. I also believe that God names are actually representative ideas, thoughts, emotions, or single pure sources of energy that are part of the all. Okay? That doesn't mean I don't think they have like a form or personality or, individualness to them. We all have individualness and everything to us too, but we're still all a part of the all. I just don't believe gods are like, in mythology. They don't have, human emotions. They're not petty, jealous, angry, or any of that nonsense. I don't think, or I find that nonsensical. It doesn't work for me. So, for example, if you take the ancient Egyptian proverb, Set causes Horus, Horus redeems Set, this is a perfect example of how god forms are used as a tool for teaching. If we know that Horus is the god of the sky and Set is the god of the underworld, we realize that this proverb is actually talking about balance and polarity. Go figure. Without Horus, there wouldn't be Set, and vice versa. You will often find ancient deities discussed in this kind of manner. Mat, for example, is the concept of human morality. Do you die and go to the underworld, or are they really just trying to say that if you're a bad person in life, you go to your grave miserable? I mean, you really got to that's why I am a soft polytheistic pantheist. So a soft poly meaning I believe, all gods are emanations of a one, or different aspects of a one, basically. And I also, that's why I can cross pantheons quite easily, and it doesn't bother me. I don't sit there and go, oh, well, if I work with, Euronymous and Anubis in the same ritual, that's not like, with some hardcore, hard polytheists, that's a big no-no. You don't do that. So basically, that's what that means to me. That's why I am pantheistic. Now, I'm not into panentheism. Not really that I'm not into it. I just don't know that I really agree with it. I don't know if I feel that there is a separate entity from the whole. Because in panentheism, basically what they're saying is, okay, you have this whole and you're a part of this whole, but over here there's something greater than all of that, and it's its own individual entity. I'm not so sure I agree with that necessarily. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and hell, I may even change my mind. But for right now, I am really a pantheist. If something changes to make me start leaning toward panentheism, then yeah, I would have no problem, switching my belief to panentheism. But panentheism, and that's just not how not how that worked out for me, though. So that answers that question. I think, oh, okay. How does one figure out for themselves which demon is associated with each Sephiroth in the Tree of Life in each path? How did you do it? And should we all go out and, for the paths, factor in the Hebrew letter, major arcana, Sephiroth being joined, etc.? I think knowing which demon to assign to each Sephiroth is a matter of knowing the demons you work with and which of them fits into the purpose and design of your personal tree. Remember that each man's tree is his own. It's a matter of knowing yourself and your demons and your personal tree. So definitely consider that. I mean, if you want to factor in the Hebrew letter and the major arcana and the Sephiroth being joined and all of that, you probably should. I factored many of those things into my personal tree, but then my tree is my tree, and it's totally different from your tree. You really have to consider all those things, and if you want to incorporate all that, by all means you should. But you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. The next, I'm going to save this next question for its own video because a lot of people have been asking me about the Enochian lately, and so I really want to talk about Enochian. I got a really great question here about it, and I've also been asked for recommended reading on Enochian, and I'd like to give you that too. So bear with me, and I think we're on Q&A number 5 next, so let's go there.